Hi Thomas.
Hi Michael.
What's the injury team use situation?
Everyone that was available for Wolves is available for Nottingham, and then we are to assess Nørgaard. He's progressing well. If we involve him or we wait for Tuesday.
Injuries is a real theme at the moment this week. Other clubs getting injuries ahead of the World Cup. How have your boys been in training this week? Are there any worries, nerves ahead of the World Cup?
Not that I see. I understand the perspective in the World Cup coming up. It's the biggest tournament in the world, and a big thing for all the players that potentially can go and represent their countries. So, but I haven't seen any drop in training intensity.
What are you going to do for the World Cup? Are you going to do a bit of warm-up training or any friendlies? What are you going to do?
Yeah, we are going. So at first there is a couple of weeks off for everyone, and then the rest of the players and staff are back in and move into new training ground. So that's nice in that period, of course. And there's going to be a lift, of course, and then we're going away for a week to Spain, and we're playing friendlies and yeah.
Ivan Toney obviously suspended Saturday. Is he worried that it could be a game where Gareth Southgate will be watching? There's that concern, is there? Have you spoken to him about that?
No. I think I can only speak for myself. If I was a national team manager, head coach, I would have my team squad ready, and then the only difference is players with niggly injuries or whatever, and that of course can move the needle for some players. The last minute performances, don't really think it matters, to be fair. Understand it and never say never. If you score 4 goals in the next 2 games as a striker, probably a good thing if you were, on the borderline. But I think in this case, Southgate is pretty sure of who you want to pick.
And for you, he's done enough, hasn't he?
For me, yes. I think you need specialists in a squad where you have 26 players to bring. And I think he's a specialist, not only on the penalties. I think that's just an extra plus, of course, and we've been doing a little bit, everyone has joked a little bit about it, but I think also his abilities to score goals and coming in and be a player that can arrive in the box, I think that's important.
Yeah, but what England are like as well at penalties.
Yeah, and of course, because of that, and because it is a thing, it's been a bigger and bigger thing, I think, in the recent tournaments, European Championship and World Cups for many countries. So have specialists in the squad, I think, is important.
Rico is someone who's playing really well. Do you think it might come a bit too soon for him, a World Cup? Too well getting injured.
Yeah, I read that. So maybe it depends on who he want to bring. Gareth, they want to take any new players that's never been with the team before. If you wanna have that approach, I think he's progressed well this season. Rico, I think there's been some really highs and top performances. I think I really remember Crystal Palace away and recently Chelsea at home.
It could be like a proud dad when you see some of the Brentford players at the World Cup.
Yeah.
David Raya earlier, Spain. It's great for this club, isn't it?
I think it's a massive story for the club. I think from where we come from, that we are hopefully represented with a player in the Spanish squad, the England squad, and then in other squads with Cameroon, Iran, Denmark. I hope I don't forget anyone. I think that's it. It could have been more. It could have been Frank Onyeka for Nigeria. So we are proud every single time a player is called up for their country.
And finally, you've got a couple of games left and the Cup one as well, but if you can go into this World Cup break mid-table, I know you'll always want more, but will you be pretty happy with that?
Let's see. Always want more, mainly focusing on Saturday, of course, against Nottingham. Another difficult game. We've seen they've done it very difficult for teams at home. We know that's the fantastic home ground. So that's what I'm focusing on first. Do everything we can to get 3 points there. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Hi Thomas, good to see you as always.
Yeah.
What do you
Likewise.
think were the small margin missing against Wolves for a better result eventually?
After looking the game back, analyzing a bit more, I think unfortunately the game broke down a little bit in terms of rhythm. So I think we lacked a little bit of rhythm in the game, and a classic a bit more quality in the final third, but also simple bits in the build-up. That on the day there was too many players together, the relationship was a little bit out of sync to create even more chances or produce those moments. But in any league, but especially this league, sometimes you can't play a perfect game, and then you play a very good game, and then you make sure that you find a way to win and get 3 points.
Despite the inconsistency they are showing this season, how impressed have you been with Steve Cooper's job at Forest so far?
Very impressed. I've met Steve a few times also in the championship. I think he did a fantastic job in Swansea. Made some really impressive results, and then he's coming to Nottingham in not the middle of the season, but during the season, and getting them promoted the most difficult way. I know that myself, through the playoffs. Very impressive, and I think they have done well as a coach for Cooper to be able to build something. We all know the best teams they're built over time with consistency, and there's been brought quite a few players in, so to make them to gel and find the right relations and the right lineup, it takes time, no matter who you are. I think it's been very impressive what he's done.
As someone who experienced it last season, how challenging is it to leave a mark and to settle into the Premier League in your first season as a promoted club?
I think, of course it's difficult. Just see the stats that I don't know exactly how much it is, if it's 2 out of 3 or definitely over time. Half of the 3 teams were definitely 2 out of 3 most likely going down. So of course that is difficult. But I think any season in the Premier League for any team is tough. I think they found their feet, and I think they're competing very well.
Going away to a very loud and noisy City ground, any concerns of the crowd impact of the home team in a similar way to what happened against Villa and Newcastle?
Of course, two very noisy grounds as well. St James Park and Villa Park, and City Ground. I agree is a tough place to go with some very good fans behind them. Not concerns. We know it's going to be difficult. More an alert and an awareness. But I'm convinced that we'll learn from the recent experiences and will put a good performance out there.
Last one for me. You recently spoke in an interview about your football philosophy, and I was wondering how you're hoping to inspire the next generation of managers, even if they never played football professionally.
I think. Good question. I think I hopefully shown that there is a way, if you haven't played professional football, that probably take a bit of time to try to get into the best league or coaching in the professional game. But it is possible, and I think a lot of things in life are possible with a lot of dedication and hard work and the willingness to learn every day.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else under immediate Margaret J?
Hi Thomas, hope you're good. Just wanted to check on a couple of players if that's all right. Just wanted to see how Matthias Jensen was doing as well.
Good, no problem. Got a dead leg, but it looks fine. Trained today, so he's available for Saturday.
Good to hear. And I also just wanted to ask about how Pontus and Aaron are getting. how Florence and Aaron are doing in their recovery as well?
They are progressing. It's going forward, and we are following the plan. They're still out the next for the next 3 games.
And then last question from me for now. You mentioned after the Wolves game that Ivan wasn't particularly well, and you felt like it affected his game a little bit. Just kind of looking back on that match, and you kind of felt like maybe you made the wrong decision to start him in that game.
I think he's the only one that can get on the pitch in that situation and still be a threat. No doubt that the other teams respect him and know he's a top player, so I think that means a lot as well. And he's always binding 1 or 2 players, and especially in the box. So I still think it was the right decision. I understand where you come from, but I still think it was the right decision.
So it's just more about, even if he's not 100%, what he brings to the team in terms of the mentality side, it's just equally as important.
I think it's very important. Also a voice in there on the pitch.
Thank you.
Welcome.